Good afternoon and happy Sunday to you. Welcome to Ambassador in the Marketplace podcast. How are you doing? Good to see you. And how was your Sunday going? I'm thankful to God for you, and I'm thankful for being able to broadcast this episode of Ambassador in the Marketplace. I am Temitope, your host. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and at the Clubhouse. Before I continue, I want to encourage you to share this broadcast on your status and social media platform, as well as invite someone to enjoy this talk show with you. Today, I have Ola Bella with us. He will be sharing his perspective on being a minister in the entertainment industry. I am sure the information shared by my guests will challenge you to be an ambassador in the marketplace. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome our guest today, Mr. Ola Bella. Welcome on this broadcast.
I gotta say thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here, and it's a great vision that God has placed in your hands, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to share.
Thank you so much. I'm quite interested in your work, especially obviously that kind of give people a leap of life during especially the COVID, and I'm just interested. How did you get interested in your role? And if you could tell us a bit about your role actually and how it all started.
Oh, cool. Well, my name is Ola Bella, and I'm the event specialist for OBC events. Been in the events industry now for over 24 years, and I have been doing this now, and it has evolved as well into various aspects of the events industry. And going into the COVID session, it was just a transition that was necessary when the events industry shut down, and we had to carry on with what God has placed in our hands, and that was how the Zoom event was born.
Okay, tell us a bit about Zoom. People call you Zoom King. How did that all start?
Okay, that's quite interesting actually. I mean, before COVID, I didn't even know anything about Zoom. To be quite honest, I had no clue about online events. It was more towards the beginning of the COVID when I had to plan my daughter's 5th birthday party. And we've done everything, got the entertainment, got the venue, and everything shut down. It just went down. And then COVID hit. My daughter now came to me and was like, "Dad, what about my event, my party? Am I still having my party?" I was like, "Sweetheart, there's no party. Everywhere is shut down. I'm so sorry." And she was like, "You know what, Dad? I know everywhere's shut down, but can't I just have my friends to log online with me and just wish me happy birthday?" And that was boom. The switch turned on in my head. I was like, "What? This is good." So I started researching into various platforms that we could use. We looked at the Microsoft one, we looked at Skype, we looked at everything. But the Zoom platform seemed to be the perfect and most ideal because we're able to view multiple people at that time on screen, which other platform didn't give us the opportunity to. And I did the first one for her. She had a blast, and every single guest that was on there was like, "You know what, the same way you did it for your daughter, that's how you should do it for us." And that was how the Zoom event was born. But the name Zoom King just came out because people just started calling me that, and it just stuck really.
It just evolved.
Yeah.
Like I said, out of babes'
Sure.
mouths comes knowledge. If your children or your child have been telling you something, I suggest you start listening because there might be a business coming up.
That's true.
And sounds like something you stumbled on that has become something big. And now as that transition since the time that you started?
It's evolved in several ways. The first one is because the Zoom event opened our door of business to a global market. So people became more aware of what we do and what we can do. Before COVID, we were just restricted within UK and Nigeria, really. But once COVID hit and people were able to see our style of event delivery, entertainment for kids and adult events, they were became aware of the Ola Bella brand. And this year alone, I've flown to about 15 countries.
Wow.
Based on those that saw me on Zoom, to come and host their events live across board. So it gave us a platform, and I was able to we don't just do this online, we do it live as well. So that got stuck in people's mind, and they did their research online to see that we're actually quite good at what we do, and we get flown around the world as well.
Excellent, excellent. There you have it. The other question I'd like to ask you will be, so we're talking about being an ambassador in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So how do you balance, obviously, entertainment industry and representing Christ in that sphere of influence?
That's a very good question. This is my own take on it. I believe whatever platform that God has given you a chance to be on, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
And I see what I do as a ministry, because it's a chance for me to touch many lives. It's a chance for me to be a blessing unto many, and also it's a chance for me to actually be able to reflect the principle of God within what I do. And that is, for those who know and have seen my work, you always see that trait consistent within my delivery. Even my license plate says Jesus, So right from me arriving at an event, they are beginning to see or have an inclination on the principle that I stand on and what my event represents as well.
Excellent. I have to ask this question.
Sure.
So how do you balance doing a show for a Christian and doing a show for a non-believer? What I meant by that is, how do you manage people's expectation? Because sometimes, I'm not stereotyping here,
Sure.
but sometimes Christians expect you to do things in a certain way or even for free. And obviously, the unbeliever's expectation is also different. How do you balance that without people thinking, oh my God, I thought he said he's a Christian?
Your question can be divided into 3 spheres.
Okay.
The first sphere is, how do we balance what I do in terms of delivering to Christian and non-Christian. The other part is, when certain Christians believe that, okay, you should, or anyone really, should do it for free or for nothing because, you're doing it as unto God and stuff like that. But I'm going to take it one at a time.
Okay.
All right. The balance in itself is quite simple. All right. First of all, if I take any booking, I try to first of all understand the audience I am actually catering for. So if it's a Christian gathering, there is a particular way that I will anchor, or my team will anchor that event. If it's non-believer, there is a certain way that will anchor it. So for the non-believer or those that don't share the Christian ethos, what we tend to do is we don't ram Jesus or anything like that, but we reflect the values that the Christian community represents, and that is what we put up front, and it's better for them to see Christ in you than you trying to bash Christ in their face. It carries more weight, and that's how we balance that.
Okay.
All right. In terms of the second one, which is like, we do have, yeah, I do have certain circles that are like, you should do this thing for free because it's for God and all that. I make them understand that I do understand, but we have a rate for charity, you know, and then they fall under that category. They still have to pay, but they just have a percentage off because my business, you know, was born out of a Christian community. That's how I started this 24 years ago. So I never forget where I started from. And even what I do is by the grace of God. So I won't let that. But, you know, there's a lot of investment into what we do. And that needs to also be credited financially.
Great, excellent. I like the way you answered the first question. It actually leads me to the question I want to ask you. In your opinion, what is the most important personality trait and strength someone will need to work in your industry and be successful? Because you talked about your values and obviously meeting people where they are, and obviously you talk about doing charity work. So what will you say are your personal traits or traits that people need?
I think especially for the event industry, which I can speak for, I think the first trait that you need to have is passion. What we do requires a lot of dedication, a lot of work, a lot of, you know, research, and you learning the art and fine-tuning the art, you know, so you have to be passionate about it.
Yes.
You know, if you're focused more on the money than the passion, then you're going to get tired a lot quicker. There's a reason why 24 years on, we are still quite strong on it. And it's all based on the foundation of me and my team being passionate about the vision that this industry represents. That's the first thing. But you mentioned something that, how do you become successful? The success that I think, or that's helped me personally, is the integrity within our delivery. You know, so passion and integrity are the key and the foundation to any successful thing that I've done within my own events.
Great, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I know our audience would like to know about that trait, because I know there's somebody out there who's probably thinking, oh, I like to do that. How did he do that? And they've maybe stumbled on an idea and they're looking for how to take it forward. And so passion and integrity is key, obviously, in that industry. The other question I wanted to ask is about how long does it take you to prepare for an event? Because we talk about passion and integrity, so how long does it take you to prepare for an event?
To be quite honest, I mean, the key thing is understanding the needs of a client.
Yes.
Once you understand the need of a client, you then drop a plan of execution. And that's where I look at, okay, what do I need to make sure that the request of this client can be achieved? How many team members do I need to bring on board? What resources do I need to get? You know, how long do I need? So there's a plan that needs to be put in place. And once that is done, everything else just falls in place because the team knows what they need to do. I've drawn a sketch of what I'm going to do on stage, and the rest is just putting everything together and working it through. So it can take during the starting days, it tends to take a bit longer. But now that we have like formats that's been designed, like, okay, you've got a kids party, you can have X, Y, Z, you've got 50 years, you've got a wedding, this is what we'll recommend, or this is what, have you thought about this. So we are the ones that are even suggesting various things that they may not even have thought about, because we've done loads. So from experience, we can guide them. And also because we have templates and our team knows what they're doing, it's easy for us to just put them in and then get the job done.
Great, excellent. And that sounds like something I heard from someone. They call it structure and flow. If you have the structure,
You will flow.
the flow just happen naturally, doesn't it?
Yeah,
If you are just logging in this Sunday afternoon, this is Ambassador in the Marketplace broadcast, where we challenge your belief, correct any misconception as we speak to Ambassador in the Marketplace. So tell us, what are the challenges in the entertainment industry, your sector of the entertainment industry, and how have you managed that over the years?
Okay, I think that the greatest challenge that I have, especially being a minister as well, is the Sunday services.
Wow.
You know, because for those in the events industry, we know that, you know, oftentimes you get booked between Friday and Sunday because that's when people tend to have their events. You know, so being able to manage this was a great challenge for me because I want to be in church, you know, as well. But at the same time, I've got to go and be a blessing somewhere. Sometimes on Sundays, you know, sometimes we have to travel far, so I have to leave early. So I tend to miss services, you know, sometimes. That, for me, has been the greatest challenge, you know. But how do you overcome that? I realized that it's a mindset thing. Yes, you know, you can always learn or go back to messages that have been preached, you know, or, you know, online, log online and stuff like that for the services. But more, for me, beyond that is what I do is also being a minister. You know, Jesus wasn't called to the believers, it was called to the unbelievers, you know, as well.
Yes.
You know, so we sometimes have to go out there, and that's how I now see what I do, being a blessing and going out there to touch life and affect life using the gift that God has placed in my hand.
Excellent, excellent. Oh my goodness. So, just in case you're thinking, does that mean that I don't attend church and what my family gonna think about it? Those are things, obviously, Mr. Olabella can share his experience with you so that you know, and obviously allowing the Holy Spirit to lead you
That's very
as
important.
well, which is very important. My last question before I ask you to tell us about something for our audience will be, how will you advise somebody who is trying to go into the industry, especially people of color sometimes that they think, I don't think nobody is going to be interested, or it will take me a long time to get here. He said it took him 25 years or 24 years, or I've got a long way to go. What would be your advice to them?
First things first, if you want to get into the events industry, I can tell you now, without any apology, it's one of the most lucrative industry to be in. I studied IT. I've got a master's in education management. I used to run about a team of 15 in the city, you know, and I was making quite good money. But following my passion and building on it within this industry, you'll see that you can generate quite good revenue within it. So there is good source of income in it. But don't let the income or the revenue be your focus. Let the passion for what you can give, not what you can receive, be your focus. All right, and that's where the blessing now flows. Because if you focus your energy and learn the art, I don't know whatever aspect within events you want to go into, but whatever you want to go into, try and spend time to learn how to become very good at that particular thing. Get mentors people that are already in that sphere, and learn from them. Ask them, be humble enough to listen, so that the mistakes they've made, you don't have to make it. And you can go at a faster pace to actually achieving those goals. So I would say get the mentors, be passionate about it, focus more on the delivery, and then the rest will just flow.
Oh wow, that's excellent. And there is one word that keep coming up time and time, and that word is passion.
Passion, yes.
And that is key, because if you're not passionate about something, you're not really gonna have a go, you're not gonna have to take the risk in it. So that leads me to ask you to tell us about Zoom King, and how can people reach you?
Wow. Okay, my name is Ola Bella, again, known as the Zoom King from OBC Events. And we provide quite a lot from event styling to entertainment, and we also provide a mentorship program which is on the WhatsApp platform. If you're interested, just reach out to us and we'll be there to help. We also do training as well if you want to take your art to the next level. If you want to reach us, go to obcevents.uk. That's obcevents.uk, or just Google olabella.com.
Just to put a disclaimer out there, it is not free. So don't think that you're just gonna come and ask for free. If the Zoom King want to bless you, that's a totally different thing, and you can obviously have that discussion with him, but I am not asking him to introduce himself because he's going to do it for free. If the Zoom King want to bless you, that's a totally different thing, and you can obviously have that discussion with him, but I am not asking him to introduce himself because he's going to do it for free. We're out of time. I want to say a big, massive thank you to the Zoom King for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your perspective on being an ambassador in the marketplace. For our audience, thank you for joining us. I hope you are able to take something away. And like the Zoom King said, if you want to know more about the industry, you want some mentoring, you want to do an event, not for free, you can connect. The details are on the screen, and just connect. And if you want more information, or for any reason you want to connect with us so that we can signpost you to the Zoom King, we are here, the Ambassador in the Marketplace. Our broadcast is on again in 2 weeks' time, and join us as we interview and discuss another industry where we have an expert who is making a difference in the marketplace. Thank you for joining us, and we wish you a very happy Sunday.